talk today about stress and sleep, how to get better using psychology, using naturopathy, and what are the natural remedies for sleep and stress, so sleep and emotions. And we have Jennifer here with us. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Beata.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself before we jump into the key topic?
Sure. Thanks so much for having me. So my name is Jennifer Eismaker. I'm from Germany. I'm a naturopath. It's my second career. I used to be in banking. So lots of the things that I do, especially about stress, sleep, energy levels, it has to do from my experience in banking and how I felt at the time. And so everything is very concise, is very much to the point. I don't want to waste your time because I know you don't have time and you don't have a lot of energy. So it has to be really, specific and easy to do. I don't believe in anything complicated because I don't have the time to do it. So you probably don't have it either. I have my brand Panakaya, so work a lot with women, lots of trauma work, body work, lots of sleep, stress. Yeah, especially now post-lockdown, I think these are topics that are concerning almost everyone, actually. And I usually work with holistic concepts. Yes, a lot, a lot. Yeah. And how about yourself, Beata?
I look at a body and mind holistically, same as you do. And I'm trying to show people how practical psychology is, and breaking the patterns of thinking that everything that is stick in your mind, you need to treat it on a cognitive level only. You need to treat it as a whole person. And the emotions, stress, anxiety, confidence, these are my favorite topics. And now, especially after 2020, after the pandemic lockdown and all the experiences that we went through, I can see a lot of burnout. It's like a massive wave of burnout coming in, and burnout is two things. It's emotion overload, right? The nervous system is overloaded, and also there is that manifests in the sleep. That's why I thought it would be really good for us to talk about stress and sleep and how we can really address it, not only from I should be sleeping, I should be doing this and that, and very critical and judgmental inner voice that we bring up as well, but also from the food perspective, from herbs, from the routines, from habits, and from the approaches. So tell us, what should we know about natural remedies for stress and sleep?
So generally, I don't just look at a symptom and then just throw a herb at you. Of course, I could do that, but it's not what I believe in. So I prefer to work in a holistic way where we really look at everything, and everything really includes like diet, exercise, sleep, what else is going on, how is the emotional stress situation, coping mechanisms, like what can we do to help you feel better. So it goes, I think it's quite complementary how you work. And for me, if a person is not sleeping, we can do all kinds of remedies for the gut. We can work on this, on that. But if a person's not sleeping is so important for the body, because it's a time when we repair the body, when we detox the body. So if someone has, say, whether it's anxiety, depression, and the person has like a liver that is so charged with toxins from all the rubbish food that they're eating. I'm sorry, I use the word rubbish quite liberally, but also I like to keep things very light because they're usually already heavy enough, especially when you do so much trauma work. So it doesn't mean that I don't respect it, but I prefer to keep it light and easy. So we look at how toxic is the body, and that can actually even include already like what cleaning products and washing detergent use. Literally, if someone is not well, often really the holistic approach is, it's a lot of work at the beginning, but you will see results very fast. In terms of herbs, there are a few herbs that I'm going to mention that tend to be the most versatile, easy to get, that also work on different levels, whether it's for the stress, for the gut, helps you sleep better. It also is about having a healthy routine, and that's probably an area where you work a lot with your clients. It's really time for yourself. So especially that's the thing for women, not having enough time for yourself, not having time for self-care, not even having these like even 10 minutes often to do something for yourself. There's something wrong. Like you need to change your routine. And no herb in the world is going to change that. There is no magic pill for that. So these are things you need to do yourself. I mean, as harsh as it may sound, but self-responsibility. As a therapist, we can only give inputs and help with just little things here and there. But especially when it comes to anxiety and stress, burnout, you need to do something, because obviously the way what you have been doing already is not really working. So you do need some support there. And like even for like exercise, I look at like it's not just any kind of exercise, or when do you exercise? Like for some people it works better in the morning, but it's not just, you know, pumping weights and running. It's maybe it's a slow yoga, maybe it's a yin yoga, and splitting even your strength exercise or cardio workout, and then having also workouts that actually support on relaxing the nervous system, because often we have this imbalance between the fight or flight and the rest and digest system. And when we are constantly, which usually is the situation with chronic stress or trauma, that we are so stuck in the fight or flight modus, the body cannot even calm down. So digestion, fertility, these are like usually things that can't even work. Skin, these are all like not so important things in the body. So this is where you might feel it first. Again, that's for me why the holistic approach is so important. And like making sleep, for example, is such a common thing now with the lockdowns, that people have problems sleeping. One of the first things that I usually ask is the Wi-Fi off? It sounds like such a small thing, but like if you live in a building with a lot of neighbors and the walls might be quite thin, you receive all the Wi-Fi from the neighbors, at least turn your own Wi-Fi off. Excuse me. So that's one thing. Make sure it's really dark, that you have really thick curtains, or if you don't, get an eye mask that you can actually make it dark. Have a similar, or like try to stick to the same time when you go to bed. Avoid working late. So if say you know you want to sleep by say 11 o'clock, try to go to bed. Prepare going to bed an hour before, because you need to brush your teeth, you maybe need to clean up something on your desk or in your kitchen, maybe you prepare something for the next day. So all of this is going to take time. Some phones even have this phone function like bedtime, so it's going to send you an alarm. That might work for you. I tend to avoid like the bright ceiling lights. In some countries we have this like really fluorescent lights in the ceiling. Try to use smaller lamps, like warm light, or even candles, if that is safe enough in your environment. That is all things that can help to calm down the nervous system. Music, calming music. Personally, I'm a big fan of essential oils and herbs. As a naturopath, I love that, and I have actually some lemon balm here. So this is, I just get it from the garden. So it looks very similar to peppermint, and it has this like a bit of like hairy texture. Smells very fresh and lemony, so you can actually put that in your salad, in your smoothie, or like I have it here as a cup of tea. And literally, I would just put in this kind of twig, or maybe even less, in a cup of tea. Just pour hot water in it, let it infuse until it's cool enough to drink. And that's it. You have a lemon balm tea, and lemon balm is great for the nerves. If I have it dry, I like to use it together with lavender, for example, or chamomile. That's something that we briefly mentioned in another video, but this is like my go-to, really easy, and is suitable for pregnant and breastfeeding women as well. So that's something. Just I mean, don't overdose on anything if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, but these are generally some really like very gentle blends. Herbs can be great, but usually I prefer to use them like together with techniques that help you sleep better, and that, you know, usually is healthy diet. So make sure you eat a balanced diet. It doesn't, I'm not going to ask anyone to go on keto or vegan and like anything extreme. You need to listen to what your body needs. But fresh vegetables, lots of herbs, more organic is better. Cook as much as possible yourself. Like no food outside, unless it's like you live in a country where it's really like healthy food. Likely it's not going to be that great, especially if you order food. So try to at least make some meals a week yourself. The fresher, the higher the quality of the ingredients, the better it's going to be for your gut. So gut health and sleep, anxiety, usually they're connected. Have fermented foods, a microbiome, that's really important. So if you feel like you don't digest food very well, you burp, fart, or just feel bloated, or just not feel good, work on the gut. And often gut and the digestive system, they're connected. So I usually treat both of them together. I actually have a herbal tea blend. I don't want to make too much advertisement for it, but I basically threw in all the herbs that work from inflammation, relaxation, stress, bloatedness. So like for bloatedness, peppermint is great. For stress, like the kind of gut issues that are caused by stress, lemon balm, this is a really good one. Chamomile. So these are some really generic teas you can have. And then, of course, the quality of the herbs matter as well. So again, try to go for organic. Also look at the country of origin. So there are just countries that have higher standards than others. Store them well. So if you live in a country that is hot, don't put them in the fridge. Just keep them tightly closed in a glass jar. Keep them in a dark spot. Don't expose the herbs to daylight, because they're going to deteriorate within like a week. So if it's already stored, make sure also where you buy that it's stored correctly.
Okay.
So this is a big issue.
But do you mean like a fresh herbs or dried herbs?
The dried herbs, yeah. Fresh herbs often are difficult to get, like especially the European ones. I mean, there are maybe in your neighborhood or online, you can find some suppliers for dried herbs, but fresh ones are usually, if you live in a country where it's the wrong climate, some might be easy to grow, some are tricky, you have to experiment. So, I mean, for me, this one, the lemon balm, it works quite well, but you neglect it for a day, then it's dead. So it needs lots of water here in the tropics. So this is from the herb side, and it's just nice to have this bedtime routine. So usually I work with patients on just having develop a healthy routine. Like if you want to sleep at 11, don't work until 9. It's just too late until maybe you have not even eaten, or maybe you haven't even had a workout yet. So then you want to put in some exercises. Just go backwards. Like if you want to be in bed by this time, maybe read before, have a nice cup of tea, have some lemon balm or chamomile, put on some essential oils, make it a nice routine, or write your journal, your diary. So these are some things you can do. And I think exercise, like as mentioned, these are really important to put them in daylight, sunlight, get out, get some sun. This is really important for the vitamin D, because then again, that can cause hormone imbalance. And a really important one, if you work a lot with a screen or your phone, get glasses that filter the blue rays, the blue light. This is really important. Like I try to always wear them. Like these are actually not like glasses for a prescription. It's really just for the blue light, and that can make a big difference too. Because if you look at the screen, it's going to disturb the production of the hormone melatonin, which is the one that is going to make you tired. So if you wear this, like even not just in the evening, but throughout the day, you have a better chance of having more balanced hormones.
Okay. And you mentioned essential oils. Would you put essential oils like diffuse in the air, like a bit of
you
spray
can do
or
that.
diffuser, or you apply it on the skin?
It depends. So if you only get one essential oil, I usually recommend to get lavender. And lavender, I mean, you can find a lot online, but look of the country of origin and which parts of the plants is it from. Like it should be from the petals, from the flower. But in some brands, maybe it's also from the stem or the leaves. So
I tried some brands, and I smell it. I'm like, I don't like the lavender. And then I tried from other brands. I'm like, I actually like lavender. I was surprised, right?
So it really makes a big difference. That's why actually I started with Panacea, because here in Singapore, I just could not find the quality that I was used to that we have in Germany. Like there, for us, organic products, and really not just even organic, but Demeter, which is the highest standard in organic, for us, it's just so normal. So I couldn't find the quality. And when I told the patient, try this and that, and so where can I get it? And I had no solution. That's why I started with Panacea, and it's like, like products like this. But that's for sleep. So that has lavender, it has vanilla and orange.
Ooh, okay.
So, so it's a quite nice blend, for example. But even if you have just one oil, lavender, put it in a diffuser, just to let you know, the nose will switch off after quite soon actually. So you think you don't smell it anymore, but when you go out of the room and you go back in, it might still be there. Yeah. Use this as a spray, like the one I just showed is like a pillow mist. So you could even put the lavender in a glass bottle, like with water, shake it well. If you don't put any chemicals in it to help the water and the oils mix, you need to shake it really well and spray it on the pillow. That can be really nice. Or you can make it like a foot scrub, you know, or like you mix it. It's one of my favorite one for the hands or for the feet. Mix it with sugar or salt, the lavender oil, just a couple of drops, that's enough, maybe 2 or 3 drops, that's more than enough. You don't need a lot, because it's like kilos of the plant in one drop. So we can
don't want to waste it all.
Yeah, exactly. And especially when you go for quality, it costs, so you don't actually need a lot. And you mix up with a bit of salt or sugar. If your skin is very sensitive, then maybe sugar is better than salt. And you mix it with a bit of oil. My favorite is usually almond oil. You can also use olive or another oil, but for like with the flavors, the fragrance, I tend to do either almond or olive. And you just make it a hand scrub, and then you have a nice reflexology like massage. So I think this is really nice.
And this is a great idea.
Yeah, and it, you know, through the smell, it goes directly to the limbic system. So it's going to help us calm down. So when we feel a lot of anxiety or like we feel very stressed, just have a quick break and make this like shuttle massage. It's only going to take you a few seconds to mix the things together. Just use a small like jar and, you know, a bowl. You can use that, or a foot bath in the evening before going to bed. It's another favorite. Just use a bucket, even for one for cleaning. That's good enough. Put in some hot water. And the essential oil, the lavender, you don't put directly. You mix it in a bit of salt first, and then you put it in, because oil and water, they don't mix. So otherwise, it just swim on the surface. And again, you smell it. And again, for the heat, for the feet, it's really nice to cut the day, have a break for the routine. And it's just really soothing, like especially if you don't have a bathtub or it's too hot to use a bathtub. These are great ways to use lavender.
Amazing. Okay. These are really
this is
good.
like really easy, versatile. And you can, especially like when traveling is allowed again, you know, you can just bring the lavender with you. You can just even smell on the bottle. That's like if you feel anxious in a plane or in like at work, you just take out the bottle and smell on it. It's a nice way to calm down the nervous system.
Yeah. Or like, I don't know if you would recommend, but I'm making like a small roller bottle. Like I put a little bit of the like a different carrier oil, and then a few drops of lavender or peppermint to just like energize myself a little bit during the day. And I just put it on my wrist, or then later I smell it, I'm like, I want more, and I'll put all everything.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, this sounds good. Yeah, you know, you can use peppermint for headaches, for example. If you feel like you have a headache coming, you can put even the mixture you have, you just put it on your temples or on the lower neck. And there are studies that have shown that the peppermint oil works just as good as an aspirin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And of course, headaches can come often with stress, right? So it's like if you feel like the tension, like when you're sitting, you're typing, you know, you're using taxis a lot. Usually, as like making like sure that you actually move your shoulders, the tension. Don't sit too long. Usually, I suggest people, especially when often it's a combination with back pain, shoulder tension, stress. Move. Just keep moving. If you have like long calls, have some squats in between or some crunches. It doesn't really matter. Or do like if you have a hula hoop, you know, you can use that. Just get active, move your body. That can help to throughout the day to keep releasing the stress. Even or if you work in an office, just go to the cubicle and do some squats there, or go out. Like people go for a smoke break, you go for a sun break. Especially if you live in a country where perhaps the winter is quite long, you don't get a lot of sun. When the sun is out, just try to get a bit of sunlight on your skin.
Okay, this sounds really good. I'm really happy that you mentioned this peppermint as well, because a lot of my clients have headaches, and a lot of them come with extra tension that's been accumulated for the whole day, right? Especially
It's the muscles here, like everything on the cranium, on the head, it basically tenses up, and on the shoulders, and the muscle goes all the way from basically of the base of the cranium of the head, it goes all the way down. So when we sit too long, just the muscles tense up. So just by moving them, doing like either neck rolls, shoulder rolls, just keep the muscles moving, or like just even pull them up and let them come down again. This can already be quite effective. And the movements should not be fast ones, they should be mindful ones, like really feel the body. Like when you do a shoulder roll, it's like really you want to feel all
not like
the muscles
quick one.
work. Exactly. That's not the point of it. Yeah, and if your patients have lots of headache, they should make sure that they drink enough water, because sometimes dehydration can also cause headaches. Yeah, and maybe another one for the anxiety and the sleep. If you struggle with these, just avoid all caffeine. I know it sounds hard, especially if we don't sleep well, like we're really craving that cup of coffee in the morning. But even a cup of coffee in the morning can impact your sleep. Like even if you have the coffee at 7 a.m., the next night, the sleep can be impacted. So it's nice to reduce the caffeine gradually. So make less strong coffee, mix it with decaf. Again, when I use decaf, I tend to not use the chemically one, where they use chemicals to take out the caffeine. It's called either Swiss water or with spring water, where they filter out the caffeine. That's gentler for the body, but it costs a bit more, but then you have a better quality decaf coffee. So reducing the caffeine is really important. So that's also in green tea and black tea. These are important because anxiety can be made a lot worse with these. That's so true. If you can't sleep and you have the anxiety, ditch the coffee.
Yeah. And what I find also good for anxiety is to drink a glass of cold water, or even like a work with water. So like put a cold water on your face, just wash your face with cold water. If you can't, if you are in a public transport commuting somewhere, then just hold something cold. If you're having a sudden panic or like a sudden kind of like an anxiety attack or panic attack, right? To work with, in general, with cold to lower down the temperature of the body. But also water is very calming. That's why in every single spa and massage place, we hear the sound of the water. They usually have like a small fountain somewhere, right? So if we manage to shock our body, shock the system to feel the cold, to decrease the temperature, we naturally stop also the brain to go and spiral on all those thoughts, right? So for especially for anxiety triggering or any kind of like an anxious moment, the cold water would be good as well.
Nice.
Okay. I think we've covered quite a number of natural remedies. Hopefully that was useful and definitely practical. Tell me, Jennifer, how we can reach out to you, how we can find, because I know that you have Instagram and you share some recipes as well, right there. So we can.
So I mean, of course, you can find me on my website, panakaya.com. I'm on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and I share quite a few recipes there, some with essential oils, some with like cooking, or generally for sleep, anxiety, trauma in the uterus. So that way, and what I'm actually going to start now. So if your clients want to get involved, so I'm actually changing my newsletter. So the setup is going to be like more frequently, but really bite-sized, nice recipes, and then they're not going to be on like the social media. So maybe some of them you will see there, but not everything. That's going to be the new thing. So that's nice. Practical. Everything has to be practical for me.
Yeah, it has to be and a bite size, right? A small size to actually we can take it in, we can process it, so we have enough time and space to consume it.
And if any of your of our followers want to, you can always reach out with a free call. Just book it on panakaya.com and let's have a chat.
Okay, lovely, beautiful. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day, and thank you so much for sharing all the magics of nature that we can use, so we can really heal from what we're experiencing.
Thanks so much, Beata, and thanks so much for having me.
Right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.